Guys, here we go again. Bitcoin seems to be dropping. I had not a look the last couple of seconds at the chart, but I read already in the chat that Bitcoin is dropping here once again. There is a huge warning out there right now. That's the whole reason why I want to come out on a live stream and show you exactly what's going on. So definitely stick around here and let's go, guys. Oh, wow. Let me see if you can actually see me, guys, because I did not use this setup for quite a while. Okay, you don't see my camera. Let's change that quick. I just need... Why is... okay. I need to put the camera on top. So there we go. Now we see everything. So, guys, it was nice to have this bull run, you know, but Jim Cramer came out and once again he will spoil the party. So look here, Jim Cramer says, I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe even some other cryptocurrencies deserve a spot in our portfolio. That's the end of the stream, guys. See ya in 4 years. Bye. No, of course I'm joking. I'm here. So, but you know, when Jim Cramer comes out, it's always really bad for the markets in general. We jump now into the DXY. The DXY keeps dropping here to the downside, exactly as I was expecting it. Now that we are breaking 106.5, we should see a further continuation at least to 105 points. And from there, we keep going lower. So, and this trajectory should continue until the next year, until Trump gets inaugurated. I expect until then that gradually the DXY will keep falling, which is propping up all the other markets out there. And then when he gets inaugurated, then we're going to get here a nice swing back to the upside. Now, yesterday we talked about the leverage in the market. So look what happened here. You fucking degenerates out there. You just added more leverage, you know. So I warned you about that we just got a leverage flush. What does everybody else, you know, let's hit again 50x, you know, YOLO. Doesn't matter, you know. So we got $3 billion more in leverage, which is quite insane here right now. But that is another reason why we see Bitcoin here going back up, and also major altcoins. So, and I'm gonna tell you in a moment why this is actually really bad. So you see on a 12-hourly chart already one of the reasons I warned you about this, that when Bitcoin breaks here this upward sloping trend line that is currently giving us support, that when we break below that and not coming back up here, that we most likely get a rejection and will start slowly go down here. And at some point, we just get a capitulation wick, come back up here, and then we continue to go higher. So here, the only problem is on the 12-hourly chart, the stochastic RSI gave us already a buy signal. The MACD is losing momentum on the sell side, and the RSI is going a little bit down, but not a lot. You know, so that is currently here a small problem, and that's why you see Bitcoin kind of going sideways here below the trend line. But I believe at any point that we come back up to the trend line and we are not breaking the trend line, that we're going to get this rejection, and then we get this big liquidation candle that I'm looking for to the downside in one go, really deep below $90,000. So basically a candle like this here, but here below $91,000. That's what I'm looking out for on the 12-hourly chart. So here another reason why the price is kept getting afloat is that we are here at the longest area of the VPVR currently trading. So, and that is giving us support, but once that is broken, it is a fast track to the downside. Now, on the 1-hourly chart, the bear flag has turned into a broadening falling wedge, but only on the 1-hourly chart. So here, technically, if we break this to the downside, there could be more upside before we then get, again, the elevator back into lower levels, but I would not try to chase this, guys. I would not try to chase this. Guys, stopped with, you have to stop here with low sound, blah, blah, blah. I know it's not true. I know it's not true. I checked it so many times when I went back to the recording. It's a problem with your device, guys. You know, I don't know with what you're watching, but it's 100% a problem with your device, because I have here, I have a phone. I watch the stream right now from a laptop. I have other phones. I have here this Mac Studio. Trust me, it is your problem. It has nothing to do with my settings. Maybe it's YouTube. That's also possible. You know, I don't want to blame you. Maybe it's YouTube while I'm streaming. I don't know. But this is something I cannot change. So now back to Bitcoin. Here, even though if you break out, I still expect a return around and go back to the downside here. On the liquidation heat map, on the MDX algo scalp gradient, you see here that we bounced off that demand area here, that blue zone, and also put a dot in there which marked a short-term reversal. But I'm still not convinced that from here we go now all the way back up above the weekly open of $98,000. I just don't see it happening, guys. I really struggle to see that happening here. Also here on the MDX algo reactor indicator, there is no reversal indication just yet. On the 4-hourly chart where we get a bullish divergence, we actually had a bearish divergence. I think it was on the 12-hourly chart where we had it. Down here, up there, yes. So it was here on the 12-hourly chart. Look at this here. Here. There we create higher highs. Ah, shit, now I have to do this like this here again. But on the RSI, we were creating lower lows. And that's why we got here this initial move to the downside. And I believe that this bearish divergence is not completed yet. Not completed because usually when we get such a big engulfing candle to the downside, we create these waterfall drops, you know. So, and that means we are just in the middle stage of that waterfall drop, and the bigger drop is still coming, guys. It's still coming, and don't get irritated by the price action of altcoins right now. You know, a lot of people get irritated, distracted by that. I'm gonna explain you in a moment exactly what's happening here. Now, when we go back to the gradients, also here you see that we are currently in a downtrend since we got the sell signal. If you would have sold at the sell signal, you could have technically shorted also there, you know, and you would now have a nice profitable short position. But you know me, guys, I don't like shorting during a bull market, because it can happen easily that there is one big whale coming into the market whose name is not Michael Saylor. It could be somebody else, you know, and you get it kind of like this, you know, and your short gets wrecked immediately. So, and the risk is just too high, you know. There's how to say that correctly? Yes. So when you're short in a bull market, the short side is limited, but the upside is not limited. So why would you take on the risk where you are limited in terms of profit and not take the other side that is less risky, which is right now not limited? So when you get to the end of the bull market, the whole thing turns upside down, you know, so then the short side is not limited anymore, but the upside is limited after the first stop. That's usually where we see something like this. Now, let's have a look at how my Bitcoin trade is actually doing here on ZoomX. So here my first limit order got hit. That's now in a slight profit here, $4,500. I still have my phantom trade. Oh no, actually that phantom trade, what did I do with this phantom trade? Did I open this yesterday? I forgot already. Yeah, so this is also a nice profit. Only my Solana trade is getting a little bit wrecked, but I have also limit orders on this trade, guys. You know, so don't think that I'm gonna lose this. You know, so I have also limit orders on my Solana trade. And I want to remind you guys, on Friday, we start a competition here where we trade for the $10,000 cash reward pool, and we're already at 140 people taking place in this competition. Let's get this to 200 on Friday before 5 p.m. UTC time. I want to have here 200 people, guys. If you are not signed up yet, use the link in the description of this video to sign up. You get, if you deposit $500, first of all, $5 for free for just signing up, and $50 on top for that you have deposited $500. And I want to remind you guys, on Friday we're going to start to take $555 into $10,000 profit. $10,000 profit is the minimum that we're gonna do, guys. $10,000, and I show you that we can actually do that in a moment here on another chart, on another trade actually. We can do it in 2 or 3 trades, guys. Really easy. I'm going to show it to you here in a second. Now on the liquidation levels here, look what happened yesterday. Did I not say we will take out the high leverage liquidity and we will step into the underlying liquidity? That is here the low leverage liquidity. So we just tapped this yesterday here at $90,800 and got a bounce from there. Exactly also as I told you guys, that from here we get a short-term bounce, but we did not take out any other major levels here. So we still need to come back here. And on the 4-hourly chart, the candlestick formation here is also telling me rejection from the EMA ribbon, continuation to the downside where the ribbon is flipping to the downside. And I had given you this prediction a couple of days ago where I said the EMA ribbon is going to flip to the downside. It will go to the downside for quite a while. And then when we get here around $89,000, $87,000 somewhere here, then we get the bounce. The EMA ribbon will slowly turn around. Price action will get above the EMA ribbon. EMA ribbon flips. Price goes above $100,000. So, and this is exactly the start of that whole scenario that we are seeing unfolding here in front of our eyes currently. On the liquidation heat map, I want to go to the weekly. On the weekly, let's actually go to 2 weekly to see order liquidity. So here you see the liquidity below us that still needs to be taken out is sitting exactly as I told you guys here at around $87,000 all the way down here. Then we have here below, let it be even $86,000. Below that, there's basically nothing anymore. Or almost nothing, so it doesn't make sense to drive it all the way down there, but it makes a lot of sense to turn around and take then out all the short players that have their liquidation prices at around $100,000, because there is right now the highest concentrated area of liquidity with $229 million worth of short positions. So, and that is of course not everything. You need to take into account everything else on the way up, so I would reckon there is already like $1 billion worth of liquidity waiting to be grasped if we would shoot here right now to the upside, which is of course not happening, and we are going to get here the liquidity grab to the downside first. Now when I go to the weekly chart for Bitcoin, here also we see exactly what I was talking about. I think it was just yesterday. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I said this yesterday that I want this candle to come down. It could happen that this candle comes all the way down, retraces the whole move, and then we get a bounce back to the upside in the same candle, and then next week we get another nice move here to the upside. So for now, also this is holding true. The wick should still come up a little bit higher. We want this wick to be all the way up here around the $95,000 level, retrace half of the candle. Then it can close in that manner, and then next week we get the next move here to the upside with continuation, and that is then also fulfilling the continuation pattern that we are potentially forming here right now. If you want to trade also on Bybit with me, guys, don't forget you get $500 free in a position airdrop if you only deposit $100, guys, and any of these coins that I mentioned here. And most of them, I think like 70% of them are coins that I'm going to talk about today. And I talk about them for a really, really specific reason. So you should sign up on Bybit if you want to trade most of these coins. Really easy. Claim the airdrop voucher after you signed up and deposited $100. Use the voucher. All the profits belong to you. If you cannot use ZoomX for some weird reason to trade into $10,000, go to Bybit, do it there, and take on top of that the free $500 airdrop position with you. So while we are speaking about Bybit, here my phantom trade actually closed that I showed you yesterday. And look here, where did I close it? I closed it. I did not move any orders that I had. You saw the order, my take profit order. Go back into yesterday's video. It did not move at all because it happened when I was sleeping. I did not move it at all. I almost closed it exactly at the top. So I consider this that I actually closed it at the top. We did not move that much higher. So we moved here like to 13 cents 62, and I closed it at like exactly 13 cents or something, you know. So I was like 0.3% away from the actual short-term top here. So I consider this hitting the top, you know. So these are these sniper targets that I find in the charts, you know, so that you can take advantage of if you just do what I do. You know, it's really that easy. Let me actually see here. Let's activate this here. Here was something on the stream. Okay, nice. So now I wait for a major pullback. You see already we are coming down here. We moved 10% to the downside on Phantom. And it will keep falling down, guys. It will keep falling down. And I'm going to show you in a second actually why. The Bitcoin dominance keeps falling here, surprisingly, in the short term. But I still believe that there is a big bounce coming. And the big bounce will happen when Bitcoin gets this big move to the downside that I'm waiting for. And then you see the dominance spiking back almost here to the top, maybe only to 60%. And then you see this pattern playing out to the downside. The total free market cap is in direction here of $835 billion again. It will stop somewhere between there and $855 billion. You see here we are also slowly coming down. This whole thing here looks already like a top where the total free market cap will come down before we then continue to go to the upside. On Ethereum, Ethereum is basically the reason why altcoins holding up right now. But this will also change, guys. This will change in a not so distant future. Once we hit one of these pain points for Ethereum, which is basically the same for Bitcoin. Once you hit like a specific pain point, you just get a reaction like that to the downside. So at some point, Ethereum is going to do that here over the next couple of days. The RSI is starting to get overbought. The MACD is still looking okay. The stochastic RSI also looking okay, but I give it 48 hours, and then you see a turnaround. So and the turnaround will come because first of all, you have here a rising broadening wedge, which is not good. And if we're not breaking this soon to the upside, you know what's happening. We are coming down most likely to $3,100, $3,200. But from there we bounce, and then you're gonna get the run into $4,000. I will definitely buy a lot here around these levels, and then trade this into a new all-time high for Ethereum. On the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, you see the main reason why the altcoins holding up much better than they used to when Bitcoin was having a move to the downside. And that is because the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is bouncing here in a manner that I was describing a couple of days ago, where I said we're gonna put in here a Morningstar pattern where you see the Ethereum Bitcoin chart mooning here to back to the upside. And if we go only a little bit higher, we only need to come here almost to 3.8 cents. If we stop there, it's fine. You know, if we close a candle body above there, doesn't matter how high the candle else goes, you know. So if the candle body closes above 3.8, it's done, guys. You know, it's done. That means altcoin season is here. And once Bitcoin had its pullback, we're gonna see a move like this on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. On Solana, on the daily chart, let me actually have a look here, bounced off the EMA ribbon, which is in the short term bullish, but I have a problem with these two candles. So let me actually remove here for a second all of this, that you can see this better, because these two current candles here, they can mean two things: either a spinning top or a tweezer bottom. You don't know yet. So, and that is a big problem. So even though the stochastic has bottomed out, the MACD is a little bit bearish, the RSI is going slightly up, you know. So usually you would say, okay, that means that was the local bottom, we reverse back to the upside. No, guys, not so fast this time, not so fast, you know. So if Bitcoin decides to turn around and continues to go lower, trust me, this will be a spinning top, and Solana will move one more time in direction of $200. So I expect a bounce from Solana somewhere between $205 and $190. Somewhere in this range will come the big bounce that I'm waiting for. And that will be the real bounce where we continue to go back to the upside. So now, finally, I'm going to explain you why I'm not trusting the altcoins bouncing right now while Bitcoin is going down. So the reason is that these are only short-term bounces, and what now liquidity providers and whales that know how to play the game actually are doing is they rotate liquidity from Bitcoin into altcoins and giving you the impression that the altcoins are starting to run right now, regardless what Bitcoin is doing, which is usually the case in a full-blown altcoin season. So in a full-blown altcoin season, it does not really matter anymore what Bitcoin is doing. Altcoins will just keep running. Bitcoin can go up, down, run in circles, so it doesn't matter. So they just do their own thing. They even make 100% moves, and I'm not talking about some meme coin. I talk about coins like Theta. Bitcoin drops like 5-10%. Theta makes a 100% move at the same moment. So, and that is what's so dangerous right now. So how the market is set up right now is that you get this kind of impression of the market that we are in a full-blown altcoin season, which is not the case yet, guys. We are not completely there yet. And that gets you then caught off guard. And I'm going to show you this here on some of the coins. So if I go here, for example, into, I can do it on Solana. So on Solana, if you look here at the 4-hourly chart, Bitcoin came down. Let's say I go here Monday, 8 a.m., so I go now to Bitcoin and look at 8 a.m. On the 4-hourly chart. So here, Monday, 8 a.m. So what happened here? Bitcoin bounced a little bit to the upside on the 4-hourly chart. Is this here? No, there. So, but retraced almost the whole move back to the downside. So what did Solana do at the same time? Solana started dropping to the downside, and got rejected from this downward sloping resistance line and kept falling to the downside. So now, over the last couple of hours, over the last 24 hours, Solana came a little bit back up here, 6%. And now a lot of people have the impression, oh, wait, when I look here at my watch list, there's so much green, and Solana was earlier also here in the green. And they were like, hey, it's not so bad. Solana was like up 4 or 5%, So, but what people forget is to look at the price, where the price was, a couple of days ago. So, and this is the other thing about this, so you should not only look at percentage gains, also you need to look where the price is, because if you go to a 50 minutes chart, you don't see it anymore, so, and you look at the percentages in your watch list and you're like, oh, this looks good, so maybe I should trade this right now. Look here, everything completely bottomed out here. The RSI turns around, so we're above the EMA ribbon of the 50 minutes chart. This can go to like $250, so no, definitely no, so it's too dangerous. I'm not interested, because here on the 4-hourly chart, rejected from the EMA ribbon, candlesticks looking like that we're turning around and pushing here into lower levels, so on the daily chart, we are here below that downward sloping trend line from the highs. We are only getting support from the EMA ribbon currently. No, so you don't want to enter something like this. And a lot of altcoins are looking like this. So, but there is a way how you can short-term trade some of these coins. And that's also something that I'm going to show you. There is a specific set of coins, and you should pay attention to these coins, because these coins are the coins, when Bitcoin turns around, that are pumping the hardest back to the upside together with Bitcoin. So every time when Bitcoin goes a little bit only back up to the upside, these coins move like 5, 10, 15%, so, and you want to be in these strong coins. So, and what I have done is I went to the spaghetti chart and I had a look which coins are right now here on the higher time frames making insane moves and outperforming Bitcoin. So here over the last 4 hours, I think these percentages are not correct. So that's why I go to the 1-hourly chart. So this looks over the daily more correct. So you see here the white line is Bitcoin, and everything above the white line are coins that are outperforming Bitcoin currently. So what I did was I went and created a list here, Bitcoin bounce list. These are all the coins that did tremendously well when Bitcoin started to go a little bit back to the upside from $91,000. So take a screenshot of these coins. These are the coins that you want to watch when Bitcoin comes the next time down and starts running again. So because when you look here only on Uni, on the 4-hourly chart, here's a lot more room to go to the upside still. So sorry, I need to adjust this a little bit. The stochastic RSI still has room to go to the upside. The RSI, the MACD just printed a buy signal, and the next bigger resistance is here at $13. So we talked about this a while ago, where I said $13 is a major resistance for Uni. So if we break here above, what is this, $11.90, I see this still going to $13. So the only problem is you need to understand how you trade this. You cannot just blindly enter now and set your take profit at $13 and hope that it gets hit. So that's not how you want to trade this. So what you need to do is you need to look, when you go to the daily chart, look at this here. You see that big resistance here? So I'm gonna show it to you. Look at this horizontal line that is sitting here. So I can actually put it a little bit lower. So here you see current price action is exactly as resistance. And here the other problem is the stochastic is overbought, the RSI is overbought, the MACD is still bullish because we are pumping, but we are at resistance. So if you want to trade something like this, because you think it will go to like $13 all the way up here into the next resistance here, so you need to look where you set your stop loss, because what you don't want is that you take the trade and then we retrace the whole move back to like $10.70, so which is like a 12% move back to the downside or even more, so and you get wrecked, So what I do in that case, if I want to enter this, look here how close I go. I go like here to this level, $11.60. Now I'm 3% away from the current price action. So if it turns 3% back to the downside, I'm out. Now you have to consider your leverage. So if you are in with 3x leverage, okay, 9% what you lose on a position. If it's 5x leverage, it's 15%. So, but the risk to reward ratio is fine, because look at this here, 8.64% to the upside. So on 3x leverage, it's like almost 26%. On 5x leverage, it's like 44% almost. So it's worth the risk when you look at the risk to reward ratio. So, but what is way more important, and that's what I want to explain you here right now, and this applies to all the coins that I'm showing you here, right, in a moment. Even if you get stopped out, and let's say we come all the way back down here to my buy zone where I want to buy this again, at $9.60 or here around $9, or around $10. Between $10 and $9.60, I would place a lot of limit orders. So, and that is already, at least here you can see it, at least a 13.5% move to the downside. And in the best case, it's almost a 17% move to the downside. So now you lost 3% on your stop loss, but now you get another 10 to 14% discount when you buy at this lower level. So now what happens when we go back up from here and we go only back to your stop loss? So now you made already 20% on the way back to the upside, minus the 3% that you lost. Now you're almost 18% here in profit. And from there, we're going to keep running to 13%, So there you make another, 15%, So this is how I play with coins that are strong while Bitcoin is bouncing, and how you should do this too, So you should look, where is the next underlying support level, and slightly below you set your stop loss if you want to enter something like this here right now. And then if you get stopped out, no problem. You should not trade with all your money, of course. No problem. And then you wait for that buy zone to hit, So, and then you make it all back in one single trade, all back on the way to the upside. So the next one is SNX. SNX has broken on the daily chart a really, really crucial downward sloping resistance line, and is now also running here again into a resistance on a horizontal level at $2.38. Only if that's broken, I would enter and potentially trade this into $3. So that is again here, $3 all the way up here. So $3. So that is a 30% move to the upside. Here, again, the same thing, you know, so I go here to the next support level, which is at $2.27, and I go a little bit lower to $2.20. So at $2.20, I set my stop loss, so which is like a 5% move to the downside from current levels. So, and I trade accordingly, you know, so if we lose it, you know, so if we go all the way down, it's no problem, you know, so then I'm going to buy back at $2, you know, and then I trade it to free. That's how you need to look at things like that, you know. So on the short term, there's still some room to go higher, the same like on Uniswap, but the party is soon over, guys. The party is soon over, and that's why I'm telling you that you should not get caught off guard and get fooled by what the chart is currently showing you when you look at your watch list, you know, and you think like, oh shit, I miss out, you know, everything is mooning, you know, and Alex said we should wait, you know, I'm sidelined, you know, what should I do now? No, look what the daily is showing you. Oh, the shorter term time frames, okay, they are running, and that's why you see coins a little bit creating here double-digit gains in the last 24 hours, but the higher time frames, they're telling you the party is over, you know, the party is over. And you have maybe another 2-3 days, you know, where these coins can run, but then we're turning around and you get the big flush in altcoins. So, and here on AlphaX, I gonna show you here really quick an example what you can do with $555 and how one trade can get you to potentially $10,000. So it will most likely take 2 or 3 trades because I trade here with a little bit more money. I have traded this account from $200 3 weeks ago. I don't want to lie. It took me 3 weeks to trade this into $2,100. But I traded with like $180 or something, you know, so you cannot compare that to 500, you know, 500 goes faster. So now look, I have here on FDM a limit order at 85 cents and my take profit is at $2. So I have $2,118 or something that I can trade with. If from $85 Phantom goes to $2, I make $14,300 almost $14,300 in one single trade with $2,000, and that on 5x leverage. Isn't that insane? So I make like 7 times my money that I put into this trade. So now if you have 2 free trades of that, you know, so over the whole month, you have a really quiet life, you have a really stress-free life, and you still print like crazy, you know. So, and this is something that I try to do with you guys when we start on Friday to trade, where we set strategic limit orders and then get these kind of returns percentage-wise, you know, so not in dollars, but percentage-wise returns, so that we can compound this really quick into $10,000. So, and that's why I tell you again, guys, use the link in the description to sign up on ZoomX, to take part in the competition, deposit $500 that you're in the competition, and I will help you with the $555 to turn this into $10,000 in potentially only 3 weeks that we have. You know, so it's a little bit, yeah, it's like, I think it's, yeah, it's exactly 3 weeks, guys, 3 weeks. So if we are at 3 weeks at $8,000, who cares? You know, so we keep going for another 2 trades to get it to the $10,000 mark. That's not a big issue. Now, when we're looking at Phantom, so here you see now why I took profit at 13 cents. You know, we hit here this big resistance level that I have here for God knows how long. You know, so look at this here. Exactly the top is what was hit. From there, we are retracing now, and trust me, Phantom will keep going lower now. You see it here on the daily chart. Everything is overextended and rolling over, you know, so there's no hiding this anymore. And the first zone that we are going to hit is back here 95 to 92 cents. So I might actually buy just a little bit, not much, just a little bit there because I still believe that we are going to get a nice wick here into my major buy zone down here. There is where I want to buy as much as I can, you know, so that's where I have my big orders. And even though Phantom was running today, you see how quick this is now retracing again, you know, so and this is the danger that you have right now, where you basically play hot potato with the market, you know, so where you try to catch a move like this, but maybe because it's your first rodeo in this market, you enter here at $1.10 and you think it goes to like $1.22 or something like this, but now the market's turning around and your trade and your capital is not looking so good anymore, you know. So that's the big issue with stuff like this. So another coin that's running currently is HNT, also one of the strong coins for Bitcoin, but also here you see runs into resistance, starts to retrace. But when Bitcoin hit $91,000, we were bouncing nicely here to the upside and got a 15% move. A 15% move. So that's why, again, guys, when Bitcoin is dropping, you need to know where you put your buys in to catch the next leg to the upside. So and here, a major buy for me, when Bitcoin gets that big move to the downside, will be the bottom of that falling wedge here. So this is more or less a falling wedge that we are seeing here. If I draw this a little bit more into the wicks, something like this here. So here. So when there you see, now it looks more like a falling wedge. Then you can clearly see if we hit the bottom, we are at $5.11. If we go into that big order block here where a lot of buys are stacked, we are actually below $5, $5.91. So that is where I put my orders here between, and actually here that bottom level, $5.42, all the way down to $4.90. That's where I try to buy. And trust me, we are going to get these levels once the market is turning around. So, and then when we are bouncing, you're just printing, guys. You are printing, you will be up 10, 20%, you know, so when this is turning around, and the next day, this thing is going to pump another 5%, you know, so then and if you trade this with 5x leverage, you will be up over 100% within 2 days, guys. Really quickly, you know, really, really quickly. Especially once we break out of that falling wedge here, because the target of the falling wedge is $8.66. So look at this move here, guys. Even from $5.40, this is a 57% move, 5x leverage. You make almost 4 times your money in that single trade alone. You know, so and this will happen really quickly once we are breaking out of that falling wedge. But we are not breaking out of it before we touch one more time the bottom or close of it, of that falling wedge, and then turn around. That's how I see it unfolding. Next one is Avi. And Avi was a little bit surprising for me because I have seen it the last time, or I paid really attention to it the last time at $120, I think. That's when I paid the last time attention to it. And now it is close to $200. But you see here, here's a big resistance at $200 from the past, where we ran into the all-time high and retested here that level. Then it turned into short-term resistance, here fake out resistance. Now it's basically over the last couple of days the first time since 2.5 years ago that we are retesting it. So do you really believe a 2.5 years resistance will be broken by just 3 murky taps? No. So this is going to reject badly at some point. You see here the stochastic RSI already pointing down. The RSI will roll over in the next 48 hours, in my opinion. Sorry, no, this is the weekly chart. So on the daily chart, it looks a little bit different. So yeah, but still, the stochastic will roll over here in the next 48 hours. The RSI will do the same. And maybe we spike here above $200, but then it will come back down, guys. You know, so... but on the run up with Bitcoin, strong mover, really strong mover. And like I said, you want to be in these coins that are bouncing really, really quickly with Bitcoin. Because look, we hit here $166 and now we are at almost $200. You know, we ran here almost to $200. So there's a 20% move over the last 24 hours. And again, these are the coins that you want to trade when Bitcoin turns around. The next one is FXS. a coin that I'm not really fond of, you know, so because it is just trading really, really weird, you know, so it has a really weird way to chop around. And I have a friend who is trading it a lot, and so many times he took losses on that, you know, so, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it, you know, so it's really strange to trade. So, but right now it was also a big mover when Bitcoin came back up here. Look here, this whole move to the downside, then it started bouncing from here all the way up there. Also 20%, you know, over the last 24 hours. So even if we come back down here, you know, so even if we break below this level right now, if you would have caught it, you would be still in profit. You know, it doesn't matter. So, but of course, if we lose that level here, I would get out of it. So now on the daily chart for FXS, something else that you need to consider, many coins have these upward sloping support lines, but you see price action starting to move really far away from them. And here you have the same principle like with the EMA ribbon. The further you go away from your support, the harder is the fall to come back to it, to retest the support and get the continuation. So here we are away over 10%, you know, so look at this here, 15% to test support, you know. So do you want to trade this right now and try to see if it comes back down to support, you know, enter here right now? Definitely not, you know, so especially not with indicators turning around, you know. So you want to wait and you want to set buy orders. What you want to do is you want to have buy orders down here in that block. That's what you want to do, you know. So you want to have buy orders in that block when we come down to that downward sloping support line, and catch the bounce from there. So that's what you want to do, you know. So you want to catch this here at $2.66, $2.58, and then catch the bounce back to $3.12 with continuation into $3.92 and potentially $5. That's what you want to do. Then with Rune also fell into the big buy cluster here. The indicators still show that there's a little bit momentum left for continuation, but the candlesticks say something different, and you should always listen to what the candlesticks are printing. And they are printing right now a a spinning top under the golden ratio, which is acting as resistance. So highly likely that over the next 12 to 16 hours, we see here also a rejection back into that buy zone, all the way down to the upward sloping support line here at $4.65. You know, so here Rune is something that I want to buy from $5 all the way down to $4.70. That is the range where I want to buy and build my leverage positions back to the upside, because also here we need to break first this downward sloping resistance line to get continuation to the upside, which is currently not happening. I will have a look in the chat here in a moment, guys. Just let me get through Arbitrum. Arbitrum also acting really strong here right now. The simple reason for that is Ethereum. You know, so I told you guys the beta plays on Ethereum will do well when Ethereum does well, and also outperform Ethereum. That is what we are seeing here right now. Yeah, I need to go here to at least a 4-hourly chart. So also here we saw a move all the way down to 83 cents. From there we bounced back to 93 cents. There's also over a 10% move currently. Here we could go a little bit higher. We could go close to $1 in my opinion, but then it also turns around and you see then continuation to the downside. So because here on the daily chart, you see we're also overextended on all the indicators. We are creating currently a lower high if we are closing the candle as it is. And I think it's also only downhill from here. You know, so here major buy level around 82 cents, 79 cents. That's where I want to load up on my Arbitrum in that golden ratio for a bounce above $1. So let me have a look here quick into the chat, guys. And thank you so much, guys. We have almost 2,000 views on the stream. Amazing. Almost 500 people here. If you have not smashed up the like button yet, do it. Destroy the like button, that for the rest of the stream, as many people as possible on YouTube still see the stream. And if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe. I saw that over 40% of you guys are not subscribed. It doesn't hurt you to subscribe to the channel, guys. Let me see here what's going on in the chat. So let me see. I can have a look at Casper later, but Casper is also not looking good, guys. I'm gonna tell you. It's not looking good. It's not looking good with Casper. I think I have a Casper chart open, so I'm gonna look at that. So let's continue, guys. Yeah, actually, Sui is also one that I look at. Thank you for the donation, man. You know, guys, I don't need it, but thank you. You know, so I'm gonna have a look at that in a second. It is one of the charts. Did I go through Sui already? No, I didn't. There's the Sui chart. Okay, it's coming up. It's coming up. So here, Lido is another one that's doing really well. Because Ethereum is bouncing back to the upside. Here we're currently still in my buy area. Unless we're breaking in direction of $1.90, I would stay away from it, you know, because on a daily chart, again, here that big buy zone that we're currently in is still acting as resistance for a simple reason here. Major support resistance flip zone here. As you can see, support. Here we broke it. Again, support. Broke support. Then here, resistance. Now again, resistance. Even if we close this candle as it is above, I have no faith at all, no trust at all in Lido to continue this move here in direction to $2. Because look at the indicators, everything overbought, you know. So, but I can tell you this will be one of the really strong movers once the whole market got the bounce and is turning around, you know. So the whole market, you know, so not only some selected altcoins. So once this is happening, then Lido will be one of the really strong runners, because this thing went down since not only since March, since January. Since January, it is in a downtrend, almost a year of downtrend, guys, you know. So there is some catching up overdue on Lido, you know. So that's why I have a lot Lido on spot bought in this downwards trend. And now it starts slowly to make some profit here, you know. So here, the first major level where I'm going to take profit will be $3.35. And I'm going to hold it potentially into $8 or $10. I think $8 or $10 is something that Lido can do in this bull run. So that's what I'm going to do. So, and where I'm going to buy is if we come back down here to like $1.55, $1.40, that is kind of the buy zone where I look to add more to this. So then the next one, Theta, also one of the stronger coins currently. Here on Theta, we are getting supported from the underlying order block currently, but I have a hard time to believe that this order block is going to hold when everything comes down. But I must say Theta is a little special in a bull market. Sometimes Theta doesn't care what Bitcoin is doing, you know, so it can happen that Bitcoin goes down and Theta just goes down like 2-3%, you know, it's just not caring at all. But currently, we have here a rising wedge pattern. We have currently a rising wedge pattern. If that breaks to the downside, the target will be $1.72, $1.63. Something around these numbers will be the downwards target. And there, I'm going to add more to my current Theta position that's up like almost $2,000 right now on a different exchange. But here you see everything is turning around. And my target remains $3.10. From $1.65, you know, where I originally entered. That's where I originally entered. The next one is Link. Link here, you see also clear rejection from resistance. Here also big sell orders just above us. So here nothing has changed. Orders from $16 to $15.22. That's where I have my orders. So when I go to a daily chart, then you see here also a lot of wicks into $18.37 and 31, and not able to break this. And now the indicator's turning around, so expect also here a pullback over the next couple hours. The last one of the list that is doing quite well with Bitcoin is Optimism. Look at this here. So we came to $2.11 and then pumped 10% to the upside. So also really strong. And when Bitcoin is bouncing back, and definitely should be also on your list when you want to trade coins that are bouncing with Bitcoin back to the upside. Again, if this is coming back down, here I think it can retrace not the whole move of this candle here, but partially. So this can come back to like $1.88, I think. $1.88, $1.80, that is where I want to buy a lot. But I will start to buy at around $2. From $2 downwards, I will DCA into my positions for optimism. And then I'm going to see how low it goes before it reverses to the upside. And then I'm going to hold it into $3 and beyond. So then SUI, where's my SUI's chart? So here SUI is in a downwards trending channel, currently getting supported from the underlying golden ratio here at $3.24. But once we are losing this, we will also come back down again. And this is one of the coins that reacts really harsh when Bitcoin is going down. And here my limit orders are at $2.85 and $2.75, but I will start buying around the $3 mark. So that's where I'm going to start buying and layering my orders all the way down to $2.75. And you see also here, support. It never got retested, this level here, down here as support. So it makes a lot of sense that we get this flush here to retest the support and then continue to move past $4. So guys, we're here already 51 minutes. Thank you so much for that, for sticking around here so long, because there's still 500 of you here. Let's look at the chart. These old coins like EOS, Cardano, guys, don't trade them. Please stay away from them. So what do you want with these 2-3x coins in this bull run? Trust me, you don't want them. Stay away from them. Trade other coins. There's much better coins. XLM is actually an outlier. I'm gonna have a quick look at XLM. Yeah, Bitcoin is crazy. Up, down, up, down. I told you, it's going up, down, running in circles. Right now it doesn't matter. It's just going crazy. So XLM looks not that bad on the 4-hourly chart, to be honest. So it has broken this downwards trend, but not this one here. So if it breaks the wicks, so which is a 4% move to the upside, if it breaks here this wick and it goes above that with a 15-minute candle close, I would potentially trade that with a hard stop loss. So but on the daily chart, yeah. So that might be a coin that you can use for counter trading Bitcoin. So whatever Bitcoin does, XLM will most likely do the opposite. So when Bitcoin goes down, this thing will start running, in my opinion, the next time. And XRP did this also in the past many times. Many times I have seen this with XRP, where Bitcoin had like a massive breakdown and XRP pumped like 20-30% to the upside. So I would not be surprised to see something like this here with XLM. Is XLM here currently at all-time highs? Yes. So it will. Yeah. The next time that it moves to the upside, here past 64 cents, it goes into price discovery. So let's see here. Where was the last all-time high to get an idea for targets? So and then the low. This here is the low. Yeah, so look here. It tapped into the first golden ratio extension, the 1.618 at 63 cents to 67.4 cents. And here bull market targets $1.05 almost, and then here $1.41. I think this can run to $1.41 in this bull run. That would be my first major target to take massive profits on XLM. And for an entry, you might get lucky and you get around 43 cents, 40 cents if it pulls back a little bit. That is roughly a 10% pullback. So there I would buy as much as I can for the next run to the upside. Guys, I have to run. I will just have a quick look at Casper, because I saw Casper popping up here multiple times. So SUI, if I still have a Casper chart. Do I? ICP tone. Do I have a Casper? Yes, I have. So here, Casper. So Casper, on the daily chart, almost completely done with the downwards move. So, but here's still a problem. We are getting rejected from these resistance areas and create here some really, really ugly wicks to the up and to the downside, which shows you that there's massive indecision right now in Casper. So I want to see on the lower time frames how things are looking here. Change. This looks like, okay, so here with Casper, I would enter into a Casper trade when we break this downward sloping trend line. So break here 15 cents, and I would start buying, but with a tight stop loss at 14.5 cents. So, but that's from where I would try to trade Casper. So if it keeps pulling back, my big buy levels are 14 cents all the way down to $12 cents and 8. That's where are my massive buy zones for Casper if it keeps grinding down before we get a nice move to the upside. Because remember, guys, when Bitcoin flushes to the downside with one big move, Casper also flushes really heavily to the downside every single time. So now I just want to show you something really quick here with Bitcoin. Even if it goes back up now, guys, even if it goes back up, you know, so Bitcoin can technically, if you look at the indicators, Bitcoin can, if it really wants to, completely turn around here and go to $100,000. So, but what happens when we get to $100,000, guys? What happens then? That is the second scenario, you know, so that I see currently, where Bitcoin just turns around and everybody thinks now, oh shit, I missed the local bottom, you know, because they will think this was the local bottom. Bitcoin turns around, goes to $100,000, but then this happens. So, and now what? So now this is not the local bottom anymore. The local bottom is now down here. So now you have to ask yourself, do I want to run the risk and miss out on that small leg to the upside, but run the risk that when it turns around, it turns around quickly, and I might not only lose my profits that are made, but actually end up with a loss? That is the question that you need to ask yourself if you want to take that risk and trade accordingly. If you take that risk, you know, you can only do that if you have risk management in place and know where to set your stop losses. You know, so tight stop losses. And I tell you honestly, I will only start building positions into the run of $100,000 when we break $94,500. So I want to see that we reclaim this horizontal resistance level, now resistance. If we reclaim it on the 4-hourly chart and we close the 4-hourly candle above that, from there I'm going to build altcoin positions into $100,000, but with really, really tight stop losses, and I will not cancel my existing limit orders that are way, way, way lower, you know. So and you should do the same if you want to trade, you know, so into this run of $100,000. But you need to be really, really cautious. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this, what is it actually today? Tuesday, no, Wednesday. Now I'm frozen. What is this here? Frozen. Let me unfreeze. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. It's getting late for me. I will be back tomorrow. On Friday, I finally move into my new house. So I'm still in a hotel here, but I actually like how it looks here. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, be in the Telegram, and I see you tomorrow with more money. Bye-bye.